Hallo, ich habe mich entschlossen, ein bisschen Witcher Thronebreaker oder eher Thronebreaker Witcher's Tale zu spielen. Ganz kurz. Mach die Musik gleich wieder an. Ich werde sowieso während diesem Gameplay hier nichts sagen, weil vielleicht ein bisschen mal gucken. Genau, ich habe mich entschieden zu zocken, weil irgendwie letztes Mal wieder bei Gwent reingeguckt und gesehen, dass sie das Spiel so klingt vielleicht ein bisschen übertrieben, aber fast um 180 Grad gedreht haben und ich so gut wie kaum Kartmechaniken wiedererkannt habe von früher vor Monaten und die ein unglaublich geiles Progression, also quasi System haben, womit du dich halt da durcharbeitest, ein simples Quest-System, aber haben halt auf jeden Fall, ich spiele hier teilweise Gwent, auf jeden Fall haben sie ein sehr interessantes System gebaut, mit dem du dich da durcharbeiten kannst. Und habe gesehen, dass Gwent irgendwie in Kombination mit Thronebreaker anscheinend funktioniert. Wovon ich jetzt noch nicht ganz begeistert bin, als ich Thronebreaker mir geholt habe ich gesehen, dass ich bei Gwent Karten freigeschaltet habe, die man nur kriegt, wenn man halt Thronebreaker hat. Also nicht ganz, was ich davon halten soll. Ich habe mir die Karten noch nicht genau angeguckt, also weiß ich nicht, wie overpowered in Anführungsstrichen die sind. Aber auf jeden Fall, ich wollte mir das mal angucken und wollte euch daran teilhaben lassen. Ja, ich mache den Sound wieder hoch. Ich werde so gut wie nie großartig etwas sagen. Ich werde es einfach in Ruhe vor mich hin zocken. Also dann viel Spaß. Ich hoffe, es gefällt euch und ja, schauen wir mal.
The year 1267. War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga. In light of the threat, the realm's sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance, forged alliances, and then, in good spirits, dispersed. Among them, Meve, Queen of the Twin Realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? As the Queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Meve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms. Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
Hail, Your Majesty! Delighted to see you in good health. The summit, it ended fruitfully, I hope?
Yes, at its end letters were exchanged, documents signed. Paper. Time will tell of what value. That will suffice as cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt sheer longing prompted you to ride out.
Indeed, Your Grace. Another circumstance inspired me to do so. The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was to tend to during Your Grace's absence. The situation's gotten out of hand, I fear.
Steady, Caldwell. Come now. Deep breath. All right. Speak. What has happened? Be precise.
As Your Grace ordained. I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long. We pursued for weeks, until scouts returned, having sighted the strays' camp in the forest near Locheren. We waited for nightfall to surprise them as they slept. Alas, it proved a ruse. We found the tents empty. Straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had snuck away, rounded our positions and ridden to Hawksburn.
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors. That is where they station.
So the gold? All of it?
It's stolen, your grace, but I shall do all in my power to recover it. This I vow, if it be your grace's wish.
After weeks in the saddle, your grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. Yet, they shall have to wait. I must look personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the rooms, dust off the porcelain. Make certain they do it. Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
Thought it were bandits riding in.
Milka. They stretched her over a fire till she told them where she buried her gold.
Rather die than tell him she would. But I know where she kept it. Sit tight. Sketch it out for you.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Meve charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
To attack!
Your Grace.
This harvest.
Salt of the earth, they are, Your Grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
The chase is on!
Arbalist at your command.
Look out! Seek cover! We are bombarded!
What? Who dares? The strays took tail and run! Yes! Our victory is assured! Sound the horns! May they sing praises of this triumph for ages!
The battle's not yet done. It is better to conserve our strength, prepare for a strike that will prove decisive. Battle formation! Protect the Queen!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
That hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Aye. Armor wars.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
I congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Meve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained, avoiding his liege's wrathful gaze.
Enough, Caldwell. We must put things right. Come!
The Queen's retinue set out, cavalry in front, infantry and arbalists close behind, and, following in the rear, the bandits, bound in chains.
I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the Pearl of the North. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
After 3 weeks in the saddle, I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve. A bit of respite, Reynard.
Yes. But if you've any new orders, Your Grace, I can be ready at any...
At ease, Reynard. At ease. Don't you find it wearisome sitting alone? Wouldn't you prefer another's company? Swapping tales with the innkeep, even?
Your concern, I most appreciate, Your Grace. But I prefer silence.
Has it always been thus with you?
Quite the contrary, Your Grace. As a youth, I gloried in company, delighted in conversation.
So what was it that changed you?
That delight nearly cost me my head. But do you truly not know the tale, milady? How I came to be your departed husband's aide?
I don't, but would gladly hear it.
I had but 20 winters behind me when I enlisted. Yet I was granted the rank of lieutenant from the start, not by merit, but by birth. The respect of veteran officers, both my peers and seniors, that they could not grant. Nor to earn that respect became my driving aim. And to seem wise beyond my years, I began spouting off about the king's decisions. This maneuver Reginald botched, that he failed to think through, and yet elsewhere he'd blundered like a schoolboy.
Talk of that nature could only ever result in misfortune.
It was not long before I was clanking about in shackles. Another officer had reported me. I was charged with lèse-majesté. The court-martial took but a quarter of an hour to deliver verdict and sentence. I was guilty of treason, and the noose awaited me. But Reginald first stayed the execution, then ordered that I repeat every word I'd uttered about his person or deeds. Soaked with sweat, my voice cracking, I did as he ordained. Reginald listened, raptly and silently, and when I'd finished, he declared I was right. He then appointed me his personal aide. A clever lad like you, I can always use at my side.
Indeed. Though hardly sharp himself, wisdom in others Reginald both recognized and heeded.
It was then I swore two things. Firstly, never again to wag my tongue like a fool. Secondly, never to betray his trust.
And you never did. Know what he told me moments before he passed? Trust none of them, Meave, save Reynard. I thank you for sharing that tale, Reynard. True. Alas, I've come to fear Willem might simply not be cut out to be a king.
A harsh judgment, Your Grace. Let's not be hasty. The prince is but 16 summers to him.
And is thus fully grown. The crown he should be able to bear at his age. Yet I left the land in his care for but a few months, and look what's become of it. Bandits roam and loot unchecked.
We might yet learn of mitigating circumstances, events beyond his control.
Would that it were so, Reynard. Would that it were so. Elsewise we must hope Ancaeus will demonstrate more wit than his brother. Though I see little chance of that either. It's time I attended to other matters.
this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less? Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, why, I'd have gone round, through Sodden. They told me, Lyria's a wild land, lawless, chaotic, a damn disgrace. Is this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less?
Gods of mercy! Whatever is this filth?
Necrophages. Drawn here by blood's scent.
For such vile monstrosities to prowl the high roads of my realm. I won't allow it! Attack!
Broad daylight, with the heat positively sweltering. Have we to do with some manner of sorcery?
We shouldn't exclude the possibility, my lord. And great caution we must exercise.
Raynard, what is this? Some spectre? A strigger?
I can't be sure, your grace. It's the first I've seen of any such... thing.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
These carrion eaters. I know them. Appeared on my estate last spring, enticed by the corpses of those of my sheep that fell. Harmless at first. Until, that is, they fill their guts. Seem to become quite powerful then.
Fearsome they look, true. But they bleed just as we do. Onward! Slay the filth!
Arbalist at your command.
Ah, so fortunate we routed the beasts before they had a chance to gorge.
Aye.
Your grace, yet more come.
They fill their bellies, ma'am. This doesn't bode well. Oh no, not well at all.
Armor wars.
Strong as steers they've grown, and they show no fear.
Frenzied, my lady. It's bloodlust. They lose all instinct to survive, feel no pain whatever. I've witnessed this before.
Your Majesty, we must give ground. Fall back. We can't win. Must minimize our losses. My queen, there is no shame in ceding the field when fortunes turn sour.
Victory must be ours now. We shall not retreat. Arms at the ready. Attack! Look there! Yet another abomination.
Oh, that stench. My salts. Where are my salts?
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
One bullet's all I need.
The beasts hadn't a chance against us. Victory is ours.
Many trees we felled, my lady. Might you have need of them? So, take whatever your heart desires. They call themselves strays? Well, we'll treat them like strays.
Lady, the masks they wear. Have you seen them? They've fangs, snouts, horns. Like a right proper nightmare. Your Majesty, I beg of you, thrash them bandits, please. Scared to step out into me own fields, I am.
Soon, Queen and retinue arrived at Hawksburn. The men stationed there they found standing at attention, baking under the blistering noonday sun.
Your Majesty, Count Caldwell.
Stand at ease, Sergeant, and report.
The local peasants we've rounded up in the yard, Your Grace. Expect they might have lent the bandits aid. Yet our courtesy hadn't inspired them. They haven't peeped a word. Might it please Your Grace to summon the hangman? He ties a noose for them, should have them jabbering right quick.
I'll speak to them first.
Your Majesty, for the Queen to question commoners, why, it's simply not proper.
Whom for? I shan't be stripped of crown and titles for it, so no impediment do I see. Lead me to them.
Bow low for your sovereign, Her Majesty, Queen Maeve of Lyria and Rivia.
Ha' mercy, Your Grace. We bear no guilt, we simple folk.
Calm your hearts, good folk. Though your queen I may be, you are subjects, not slaves.
Maeve extended a hand, the royal ring gleaming upon it. Unfamiliar with protocol, a pleb gripped it firmly and gave it a shake as hearty as a good scrub in the tub.
My, we shall be addressing one another by name afore long.
This is an outrage! Guards! Grab him!
I've all in hand, Caldwell.
Forgive me, Your Grace. I'm not accustomed, nohow.
Nonsense. You've a firm grip, a spry handshake, and a bold spirit I can respect. What do they call you, man?
Helmer, son of Florence.
Delighted, Helmer. Now understand me, man. I am in dire straits and in need of your aid, so please answer my queries in full and forthrightly. The bandits, whom do they follow?
Him, my lady. We seen him. No name, just an odd title. The Duke of Dogs, they call him.
My, a blue-blood thoroughbred mutt. Where are he and his hounds bound?
That recall, Imogen? What do you name? A Gleeton or something?
Clayton. Lord Clayton. His estate lies to the south.
Sound the horns. Have the men form up. We march at once.
Milady! I'll be no higher for the Duke. He's a good man. Gave us proper brass for the welcome we gave him. Shared what grub he had.
Shut it, louts. The Queen's had her say. Your Grace, your orders. What are we to do with them?
Leave them be. The harvest draws close. Hard work. They'll have their hands full.
Oh, milady, thanks be to you, thanks be. I pray Mother Melitele watch over your kind heart.
Pray she watches over yours. Should I hear of you sheltering bandits again, of you lying to my officers, I shall return and put torch to every hut, field and orchard. Understood.
Maeve set off toward Lord Clayton's estate at a gallop, her mount knocking the peasants aside as it kicked up a cloud of dust. The folk of Hawksburn spoke of the royal visit long after, albeit ever behind closed doors and in hushed tones.
What is this, Reynard? Bandits attacking royal tax collectors in broad daylight.
They shall pay dearly, Your Grace.
That rumble. What is it?
Look out! Rock slide!
The bluff crumbles! Fall back! Save yourselves!
Your Grace, the wagon. We can use it as cover. Forward. We must move it forward.
What now?
You're far fewer than I presumed. Summon your comrades, damn it! Chop chop! Before I reach for my whip.
Arbalist at your command. Armor once.
The wagon! Use the wagon now!
We've come through, Reynard. I thank you.
The walls of the temple collapsed. The buttresses doubtless damaged by something.
Or someone. There's naught we can do here. We ride on.
A peasant cart, loaded with a heap of hay, came rattling down the road from the opposite direction.
Clear the road!
Bellowed Count Caldwell, standing in his stirrups.
Make way for your queen!
The peasants obediently turned their cart into the roadside nettles. As she passed, Meve glanced towards it and froze. Atop the hay bale lay a badly wounded man gripped by fever. The thick, sweet stench of rot wafted from his bandaged legs.
Gods. Who did this to him?
Meve asked.
Bandits?
Nay, milady,
replied the cartman.
'Twere a beast. Out to the east, down Wetterton way, lies a boneyard, old as the elves, they say.
The peasant continued.
Clayton was setting snares round about there. Came running back to us, drenched in blood, rattling on about a long-haired wench come climbing out a grave. We's taken him to the good sisters of Melitele here on bridge. Perhaps they can help him.
I'm certain they can. And will.
Replied the Queen. Though just looking at the wounded wretch, she knew he'd expire before nightfall.
God speed you on your journey.
The Queen whistled, and her mare resumed its trot.
Shall I send for a witcher, your grace?
Caldwell asked.
One of those freaks should make short work of the monster.
Until we apprehend the bandits, I shan't allow a single soul to leave our company. Even on such an important mission as finding a witcher.
Meve replied.
Any who did would be captured at once. But, if fate brings us near Wetterton, perhaps we'll see to this monstrous harridan ourselves.
Your grace, we've only just fought beasts and scarcely escaped with our lives. This she-beast will take a silver sword. Magic formulae.
Yet a dozen arbalists will have to suffice.
The Queen said, calmly but firmly.
And please, Caldwell, do stiffen your spine a bit. Now onward.
Give me a target.
Can't take it anymore.
Armor won't save. Our ballista, your command. Armor won't save.
Can't take it anymore.
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't stay.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Our ballista, your command. Give me a target.
Can't take it anymore. Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't say.
can try to win them all, but you won't.
Off to Wetterton, are ye? Bonnet tune that. Just the folk a be on shite. Off to Wetterton, are ye? Bonnet tune that. Just the folk a be on
As they neared Wetterton, the Queen ordered her company to halt. She then sent men to the town for supplies. Those sent returned more quickly than she'd assumed they would, their satchels empty, their mounts foaming at the mouth.
Your Majesty, the townsfolk have gone right mad. Herded all the elves and dwarfs at Market Square. 'Tis a slaughter.
The Queen knew well that if she failed to intervene, the town's streets would flow with non-human blood. Just as she knew her meager force might not subdue an enraged crowd.
What is your command, Your Grace?
Reynard's question pierced the silence.
What can it be, dear friend?
Answered the Queen, then spurred her mount and rode off towards the town. Her troops followed, running as fast as their legs would carry them. When they passed inside the town gate, they saw corpses lining the gutters. Meve realized she had arrived too late to prevent a tragedy. The crowd was drunk on blood. Its rage would need to be quelled with an iron fist.
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones! Reynard, who started this? I must know. So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Discipline shall bring us. Strike the largest clusters! Disperse the mob!
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones! Reynard, who started? So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Her Majesty is... We must strike the largest clusters! Disperse the mob!
God save us! There's killing everyone! Run for your lives!
Happily, Niamh restored order without suffering any losses. Reynard then learned that a nobleman's ire had triggered the violence, ire at having discovered a theft.
Suspicion fell on the non-humans he employed. He accused them, they protested, and the row soon engulfed the town. But there's something else, Your Grace.
Reynard gestured towards an aged man who stood grieving, his face in his hands.
I've witnesses who claim the strays of Sparla are the thieves.
Though the tragedy seemed the result of a misunderstanding, justice would have to be served. Those responsible for the slaughter would need to be punished. The question was, how severely?
Your excuses I cannot accept,
said the Queen.
The vipers who called for the slaughter, they will hang. The rest...
Majesty!
A townswoman fell to Niamh's feet.
Mercy, please! 'Twere words taken wrong, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? To don another's cape, pay out insufficient change, these are misunderstandings. What happened here was criminal, and you'll be punished as criminals.
The condemned were hanged at once, without regard to the protests of kith and kin. Those non-humans who had managed to hide and survive made a most generous donation in gold to bolster the Queen's force. I'd like to say Wetterton's small melting pot of races lived on in harmony. Yet alas, I'm not in the habit of propagating untruths.
You hanged good folk today, ma'am. And for what? Because they came to the end of their tether?
The Lyrians entered the graveyard. Crickets chirped in its tall, windswept grass, and lush green moss covered its crumbling gravestones. Only a fresh bloodstain upon a mausoleum wall suggested that something disturbed the dead in their rest and hunted the living.
Save your tears, throw earth your grief.
An eerie voice sang, its ghastly lament standing Maeve's hair on end.
Soon your life too shall cease as you pass into the eternal glow.
A pockmarked, pustule-ridden creature crawled out from behind some gravestones. It vaguely resembled a shriveled, hunchbacked hag, until its head split into two halves, forming a tooth-spiked maw.
Attack! Everyone!
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads. This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads. Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save them. One bolt I need. Give me a target. My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, a time to die.
What was that filth?
The Queen croaked hoarsely as the dying monster writhed in agony at her feet.
I know not, your grace,
replied Reynard.
but to be safe, I would have the corpse chopped up and burned. Elsewise, we will not be certain it shall not return.
Yes, have it done.
Meve said, brushing her hair from her beaded brow.
But quickly, lest dusk catch us in this foul place.
The Lyrians soon resumed their march. As they left the cemetery behind them, some believed they still heard the haunting dirge upon the air. Or was it just the wind, whistling past mossy tombstones?
Kneel and pay homage to the gods. You shall be rewarded. Melitele watches over us all. Yet you do well to remind her through supplication. There is ever time for prayer, even as war rages all around. Pleased to see ye yearn for the holy word, milady. I'll keep ye in my prayers to the Mother Goddess.
Travelling the high road, they heard the bells of a temple to Mother Melitele, situated at some distance. Meve turned towards Reynard.
What have we today? A sacred feast?
Not that I recall, Your Grace.
The Queen's brow darkened, her hands clenched into fists on her reins.
Then they sound the alarm. Follow me!
Stained glass shards glinted in the grass. Bits of down, ripped from quilts, wafted through the air. The priestesses, gathered in the yard, were seeing to wounded pilgrims, setting toppled, oft beheaded or armless statues back on their feet.
What happened here?
The strays of Spala fell upon us.
Sighed the prioress.
Stole the offerings, the monstrances, holy books. My lady, I implore you, come to our aid, recover what's rightly ours.
Ever clever, Meve's scouts soon discovered the bandits' tracks. They led to some thick hazel groves east of the temple. The perfect place to hide, or to lie in ambush.
It's all come clear now. Sabotage. 'Twas the bandits who weakened the walls.
The good mother warned us. Hard times lie ahead. The good mother warned us. Hard times lie ahead. Your Majesty! The dead, as they rest, are disturbed. Something digs up their graves, opens their tombs. The dead, as they rest, are disturbed. Something digs up their graves, opens their tombs.
Can't take it anymore. Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Keep calm, Tiberius.
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't say.
Your Majesty, you return! Our prayers have been answered! May the Mother Goddess watch over you. Your Majesty, you return!
Wheel ruts. The strays, no doubt. They must be nearby.
To ravage statues of the Good Mother? To ravage statues of the Good Mother? How dare they?
The bandits had pitched camp in a nearby wood. Spirits buoyed by the wine they'd stolen from the cloister cellar, the brigands had not posted sentries.
Another round! To the sisters!
Neve's soldiers were eager, insistent. The desecrators would be punished. Yet only the Queen could order the assault.
High time we put these strays on a leash.
Spat the Queen, spurring her horse.
To arms! Follow me!
Tankards clattered to the ground as the strays reached for their weapons. The brigands would not even fathom giving up without a fight.
Surround them!
Favourite cut of lamb? The shank. Can't take it anymore. Looking to dance, mate?
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Regroup!
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Stick 'em up! High as the clouds! Now!
I'm a monster.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
You can pay the toll in one of two ways. In silver or in blood.
One vote.
See if he's hid any coin in his pockets. Or his owns.
Give me a time.
We got a job to do.
Surround them!
Looking to dance, mate? What you looking at? Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
The mist's gonna pass me those lovely earrings. Or do I tear 'em?
Regroup!
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Stick 'em up! High as the clouds! Now!
I'm a wolf.
You can pay the toll in one of two ways. In silver or in blood.
That bit the white of an eye from half a league away.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Shh! Cork it!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Can't get our asses moving.
Aye.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
thing about the slings, they hide well.
The Queen's company defeated the bandits and recovered the loot. Silver chalices, reliquaries lined with mother-of-pearl, gold-embroidered robes.
The priestesses would be grateful to have their treasures returned, Your Grace. They would pray ardently for your victory.
Reynard opined.
Yet, you could also keep the silver, expend it on the war effort. And who's to say which, prayer or coin, would be more useful?
Hard times the realm now endures,
The Queen said, after a pause.
Yet this can't justify a lapse in principles. No. We must defend them all the more.
Meve ordered everything returned to the priestesses. All of it, down to the last gulden. Moved by the Queen's gesture, some of the novitiates joined Meve's ranks, aiming to bring succor to any Lyrian wounded in battle. Queen and company rode off, with no gold to show for their toil, but most certainly richer in spirit.
Sure, you can bind a rabid dog, tie his four legs together, but you'll not stop him from lashing out and biting.
Aye.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
Should have listened to me old lady. This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. One boat.
Tell me you jest.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Give me a target.
Time I taught you some respect.
Our ballista, your command. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Can't take it anymore.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Can't take it anymore.
One vote. Give me a target.
What do you want of me?
Arbalist at your command. Armor voice. Aye. Should have listened to me, old lady.
time I taught you some respect.
This office will be leaping black-clad heads.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Pays late. Again.
Some bandits on thy road round dawn, those that call themselves the Strays. Beware, some bandits on thy road round dawn, those that call themselves the Strays.
Okay, gehen wir zurück ins Hauptmenü. Ich werde jetzt erstmal die Folge hier beenden. Moment, noch zur Musikleitung. Kann ich kurz nochmal meinen zusammen. Genau. Gut. Bis jetzt Resümee. Sehr, 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 sehr interessant. Ich habe mich bei einigen Rätseln ziemlich doof am Anfang angestellt, sehr doof. Ich war auch, muss ich sagen, erstmal ein bisschen enttäuscht, dass man am Anfang so viele Rätsel gab und nicht wirklich das Spiel an sich. Wir hatten jetzt relativ gegen Ende mit den Banditen und mit den Vivern, und dem Beast-Deck, gegen das wir gekämpft haben, hatten wir ein bisschen mehr das typische quasi Gwent-Feeling. Bei den Banditen habe ich mich ziemlich doof angestellt, weil ich vergessen hatte, dass es nur eine Runde gibt. Ich dachte, es wären 2 Runden, deswegen hatte ich gepasst und hatte das ziemlich gute Match geschmissen, wo ich auch die 3 Wagen hatte, diese Goldwagen, die man aufhalten sollte. Ich bin mir fast sicher, dass wir haben ja diese Teile gesammelt für die eine gute Karte. Wo wir einmal das eine Stück bei den Priesterinnen bekommen haben, bei dem Altar, bei dem das andere Stück in der Krypta oder der Gruft, wie auch immer. Ich bin fast sicher, dass das 3. Stück bei den Banditen gewesen wäre und wir es nicht bekommen haben, weil ich diese Sonderbedingung nicht erfüllt habe. Wenn es wirklich so ist, ist es schon sehr, sehr schade drum. Ja, umso mehr ich das spiele, umso mehr wird es so, wie ich es mir vorstelle. Dass du halt dieses Lager hast, baust auf, erweiterst du, bla bla bla, baust dir deinen Deck so quasi zusammen. Das ist ziemlich cool, wirklich cool. Vor allem, ich mag auch die Tatsache, dass wir hier nicht mit der Beschränkung arbeiten, dass man Sachen halt nur 2-mal drin haben kann, sondern mehrmals. Das ist ziemlich cool. Bis jetzt bin ich sehr begeistert davon. Was ich noch nicht ganz... So, ja, für den Moment ist jetzt egal. Was mich interessiert, ist der Multiplayer. Ah, okay. Dann habe ich habe anscheinend wirklich die Karten, die ich da eben im String-Modus freigeschaltet habe, kriege ich anscheinend wirklich für Gwent. Ja, ich weiß noch nicht ganz, was ich davon halten soll. Das gefällt mir irgendwie noch nicht wirklich, weil, naja, Pay to Win, ich weiß nicht, wie gut die Karten sind, die ich da bekomme. Hier, ich werde es mir gleich mal angucken. Aber nicht wirklich ach, warum merke ich nicht? Warte mal.